As President Donald Trump moves forward with his agenda, we'll almost certainly hear more about sanctuary cities.
Well, the president has threatened to pull funds from cities that don't comply with federal immigration agents. 10 on Your Side's Lex Gray investigated whether that could happen here, and she found out that that's difficult to say.
Right, Tom and Anita, and that's because no one seems to agree on exactly what qualifies as a sanctuary city, including the president and his administration. Despite that, in February, the feds began calling out local governments that don't cooperate fully with immigration and customs enforcement, and a Hampton Roads city made that list.
Their characterization of us as a sanctuary city or non-compliant is garbage.
Sheriff Gabe Morgan wants to make something clear. Newport News is not a sanctuary city. In fact, he says he goes to great lengths to cooperate with federal agents from ICE, as does Virginia Beach and every other city in Hampton Roads. But they have to draw the line.
I'm not going to violate people's constitutional rights, and I feel very strongly about that.
Here's the conflict. When a local jail books an inmate who's not a U.S. citizen, they let ICE agents know. ICE may want to come pick them up to be deported if their immigration status is questionable. So they issue a detainer request, asking the local jail to hold the inmate for 48 hours past their release date. Here's the thing. That ICE detainer request isn't a warrant. It's signed by an ICE agent, not a magistrate or a judge.
Until you give me a document that allows me to hold someone legally, I cannot hold them.
Both Morgan and Stolle tell me holding them would be a violation of a person's constitutional right to due process. They also stress this isn't a partisan issue.
I didn't do this when Obama was in office, and I'm not going to do this when Trump is in office.
So why is this coming up now? Because in January, President Trump started upping the pressure on cities that don't comply with the detainer requests by publishing those jails on a list.
I thought that was extortion. I thought that was an extortion on the part of the DJJ to try and force us to do something that we don't have legal authority to do.
Newport News made it onto that list for supposedly letting an illegal immigrant go.
It's just a bullying tactic, and it's very easy for them to fix this. Make it legal, and I'll hold them.
He says all it would take is a judge's signature. But an ICE spokesperson for this area tells me they do consider the request legal, and sometimes they just need extra time to pick up an inmate.
You can't bend the Constitution for administrative problems.
Until those get sorted out, local sheriffs are in a lose-lose situation. If they do comply with ICE and hold people past their release date, they could end up getting sued like the sheriff of Henrico County. If they don't, they could get labeled a sanctuary city and lose federal funding.
Threatening to take my money, federal funds, or threatening me with being on some list is not enough to force me to violate the Constitution.
If you go online, you won't find those lists of local police and sheriffs who aren't cooperating with ICE. The agency stopped publishing them for now because they weren't always accurate. I'm Lex Gray, 10 on Your Side.